Hello, Internet people. Welcome to week 5 of our Retirement Budget Challenge. I'm Tammy with Overthinking Retirement, and this week I'd like to talk about creativity, and specifically using creativity to have amazing experiences instead of money. Now, let's be honest. If you have money, it's probably pretty easy to plan amazing experiences. If you have money, you can pay somebody else to plan amazing experiences for you. But we're in a position, because of retiring early, where we're trying to live on $120 a day. But we still want to have great experiences. We don't want to have a deprived, live at home, watch TV type of retirement. So this week, we did something different. We went on a road trip. Now, one of the experiences that David and I have enjoyed for a long time is going to wine country and doing wine tastings. It's often been a way to spend time with family and friends and get out in nature. And when we were thinking about our retirement initially, one of the things that we considered was buying a home in wine country. Now, it's actually still something we are considering, but it's very expensive. Every time I come up with the idea of maybe I can afford this much, well, the price has gone up another $200,000. So it's just not realistic for us to buy a home in any of the wine countries in this area, unfortunately. But I still love having that experience of spending time out there. So this week, we did something really fun. We went boondocking. Now, for those of you who don't know, boondocking is where you take your recreational vehicle, you bring it someplace that doesn't have water or power hookups, and you camp there. Well, there's a subscription service called Harvest Host where different businesses will allow you to boondock on their property. And one of the types of businesses that will allow you to do that is wineries. So we went online and found some wineries in the area where we were going to be visiting family, and we tried it, and it was amazing. So instead of having to spend $500,000 to $1 million to buy a home, we still got the great experience of being able to sleep in a vineyard and wake up to the beautiful sound of birds singing and grapes ripening on the vines. It was really great. So we're going to make a video about the whole boondocking week that we spent, but for now I'm just going to go over what it costs and how reasonable it was to really have some amazing experiences. All right, so we always start with our fixed expenses, which for us are our insurance for auto and health and our charitable giving. And those are $29 a day worked out across the year. Then our next expense is lodging. Because we were boondocking, we did not have any lodging expenses for Monday through Friday. We spent part of the week in wineries. We spent one night in my son's driveway, and then we spent a couple nights in public land. So no expense there except for when we got home on Saturday and then again on Sunday. So on our first day, we were boondocking at a vineyard, and our expense for that was what we purchased, a wine tasting and some wine to bring home. The way wine tastings work, it's not usually inexpensive. I guess I'd compare it to what you'd pay for a nice dinner. They usually have some sort of little comestibles to eat, and we ordered some of those. And then if you buy a couple of bottles of wine, then they don't charge you for the wine tasting. So it usually works out that we're able to either buy a bottle of wine to share or buy a few bottles and get a tasting of their wines. And this was a lovely place. They had a little baguette with some cheese to eat, and then we shared a bottle of wine and bought some other wine to take home. So it worked out to $120 a day, which is not inexpensive, but we really felt it was a great value. It was a beautiful place to camp and a beautiful place to wake up in the morning. And once the wine tasting room closes, we really had the whole vineyard to ourselves. It was just quiet and lovely, and we really enjoyed it. So our total expenses for Monday were $149. And then on Tuesday, again, we were camping, so we bought some groceries to take with us for food. And then we had to get gas again. And then we had an expense. I put it under home goods. We went to Hobby Lobby and we came across a pretty good deal for some fabric. So I decided that I was going to remake the cushions and the curtains in our truck camper. We bought our truck camper used for about $10,000. It's a really nice condition, but it was decorated for a man to go hunting, I think. So there was nothing at all of the touches that I would like in a living space. So we found some nice fabric that was neutral and pretty, and I'm really looking forward to fixing up the truck camper. That was $83. So our total expenses for Tuesday were $172. Then on Wednesday, I discovered that I had not purchased enough fabric, or I revised the plan on what exactly I was going to do and how much fabric I was going to need. So we had to go back to the fabric store and buy some more fabric, and that was another $82. So that brought our Wednesday expenses to $111. On Thursday, we were camping and we didn't have any expenses. We were just on public land, and it was a beautiful spot. There was a bunch of people horse camping, so we got to see some horses and do a little bit of mountain biking. It was fun. On Friday, we moved from the public campground to another boondocking winery, and we did a lovely wine tasting. It was out in the middle of nowhere and there were no lights, so we got to see some beautiful stars that night. Our expense for that was $102, and that brought our total for Friday to $131. Then on Saturday, we had to drive home. Darn. So we had to buy more gas, $107 to fill up the truck, bringing our total for Saturday to $152. Then on Sunday, we were back home, no expenses. So we only paid $45 for that day. So our total, even though we bought some stuff to fix up the camper and we went to 2 different wine tastings and spent the night in 2 lovely vineyards and some lovely national park grounds, our total for the whole week was $789, under budget. Super happy with that. And that would mean that we have $51 to go into our budget bucket to save for more expensive weeks. Well, that's it. That's our week 5 retirement budget. I hope you enjoyed seeing how much it's costing us to live out our retirement dreams. And we maybe spent a little too much on wine this week, but we'll probably be drinking it for a month or 2 to come. So it all evens out in the long run. If you like to watch this type of content and just seeing how we work through the decisions we have to make in our retirement, I hope you'll like and subscribe. We're going to try and post at least 1 video a week. So hopefully we'll see you next week. Until then, we'll be overthinking.